Welcome to Watch What Crappens. To get our videos as soon as they're released instead of waiting for a week, head over to our Patreon. That's also where you'll find our bonus episodes and our Discord community. We love you guys.
Well, hello, and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker. Joining me today, as always, from an Airbnb that has running water, it's Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Well, hello. I'm in my rich house. You're in the Airbnb. Gotta get it straight.
Don't get it twisted. We are talking Potomac today, in case you couldn't tell. I am here in beautiful New York City. That's why we have a tall building outside here, this window. If you're on Crappens On Demand, you can see it. If you don't, then you're wondering, why does my mic sound a little different? It's because I've got my travel mic. We've got a big, exciting week of shows this week. We have today Potomac, we've got Married to Medicine today, and then either today or tomorrow, it depends on our stamina, we have more episodes of The Traitors to catch up on because, holy crap, this season is so good, and we only talked about the first episode on Friday, so there's more Traitors to talk about. But of course, the big thing that we dropped last week is that the tickets for the Golden Crappies are now officially on sale. That will be on February 27th in Los Angeles at the Fonda Theater. Planning is underway. We are going to have special guests. We're going to have great comedy. Well, I won't ever guarantee great comedy. I think it's always a curse when you guarantee great comedy, but we'll have great fun and shadiness. And it's the time to bring the whole community together. So if you are a Bravo fan, or if you're just someone who enjoys something fun to do on a Friday night, then come see us. We're going to have a great time. We love it. Tickets are on our website, watchwhatcrappens.com, or on our social media at watchwhatcrappens. I just posted something on Reddit. We'll get something up on social media too, soliciting ideas for the ballot, because it's really hard to think back on all the amazing, moments and quotes and things, anything that you feel like should be on the ballot for the Golden Crappies. Go check it out. Go contribute to that Reddit thread, and that's on the Watch What Crappens. It's not an official Reddit. It's not the official Reddit of Watch What Crappens, but it's like the fan community that popped up there. And help us out, because I think it's going to be super fun, and we'll let you know when voting starts. Also, guess what? Ad-free is available on Patreon. So if you want to listen to our podcast without advertisements, you can sign up at Patreon, patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. That was a lot to talk about, but it was all really important. It was actually, I would actually say, is probably the most important news you will hear all month. Or even all year. So sorry that I took 2 minutes, but that was like world-changing news right there, okay?
Yeah, that's huge. Okay, so today we're on to Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10, Episode 14.
Amazon Live today also. Amazon Live today also, sorry.
Amazon Live, 4 p.m. every Monday. Link in bio on our Instagram.
Sorry. Potomac.
Potomac. Now, I was excited for Angel because this is where Angel really gets to shine. She's had a rough season. All the ladies have been coming for her. It has been really rough. And now she gets to be like, welcome to my mansion in Colorado, you evil, jealous hags. Look at everything I have. Look at my black wooded walls, which are so gorgeous, by the way. Look at my fireplace. Look at my 36 acres. Suck it, ladies. Man, did she fall on her face. I feel so bad for her. Now, when I say I feel bad for her, she did dig her own grave and then lie down on it, inside of it. But gosh, I was rooting for you, Angel. I really was. Not even sarcastically. I was really rooting for you.
I wasn't rooting for you, but I actually genuinely feel bad for her about that Airbnb, because it seems like that's just like embarrassing. And you have someone like Giselle who is so mean about it. I mean, it sucks. I would be annoyed. I would be pissed off. I'm like, really? Like, we're sequestered away from other people. There's been like the cool people get to go into the beautiful house that was, in Dwell or wherever. Maybe it was Architectural Digest. And the rest of us are in this thing an hour and a half away where there's no water. I mean, I would be pissed. But Giselle is so mean about it that I'm like, I don't know. I kind of felt bad for Angel about that. But then at the same time, Angel is so Angel that like whatever goodwill or whatever pity I have for her kind of goes out the door because, and the window. Honestly, it will anything that leads to the outdoors, it's going that way because she's such a flop at all times. Angel. Oh my God.
Truly, really, just flip flopping all over the floor like a fish that
Those
just got
guys. She was so proud of those guys. I mean, we'll get
those
into
guys
it.
were terrible. Those guys were horrible. I mean,
Oh my God, I was
just
horrified.
The whole thing was terrible. So, wow, and just her instincts are terrible. Like have the ladies
Yeah.
over, shit talk the ladies to all the guests so that the guests hate the ladies by the time they get there, which is obviously what
Clearly
happened,
what happened.
Right? Then you seat them at a table like an acre away so they couldn't be around the real guests. So I mean, she's just like every decision, every instinct she had was just incorrect. Yeah. It was incorrect.
It was incorrect, and I feel like
Yeah.
Monique has a fairly accurate read on her. I won't say it's like the most accurate because I think every relationship is different, but there's definitely a weird energy that Angel has around Bobby, and I'm not even saying that Bobby is like Chris Samuels, but I feel like Angel seems very wrapped up with status by the fact that she keeps on name dropping or status dropping or whatever the equivalent is of saying that she's an elder wag and Bobby was a starter and this is my friend who's a high tier investment money manager or
super
something or another.
High wealth, super high wealth. Like
everything
who
is a
introduces
brag.
themselves like that, or their friends.
Yeah,
like that?
and it makes me wonder if, like, I think maybe what Monique is picking up on is that insecurity. And so it's not even, I don't know what the status is of, I don't know enough about Bobby to know what really is going on with him. But at the very least, she's obsessed with status. And Bobby has a big, big piece of status. And I think she's like very worried of like losing Bobby and like losing some status and traction in whatever world she thinks she's in. And I think that's what Monique is picking up on. It's just like sad.
I don't know what Monique's doing, but Monique is completely in the wrong too. Who does that? Like who goes and just says, "Oh yeah, that's an abusive husband right there." I can tell. Like, oof, yeah, not a great move on her part either. I thought that wasn't really cool. Like, stop projecting your shit onto me. And yes, I know that I'm a hypocrite because that's literally what I do here all day long. But,
well, then we wouldn't have Real Housewives if they didn't project all their dysfunction onto everyone else because that's what they all do. That's what they all do.
Also, wouldn't have
times.
because that's what I do. But still, I was like,
or me.
That's so rude. Who does that? So anyway, let's start at the beginning. So everybody is sitting around, and Angel has just confronted them because Giselle keeps saying, "Oh, really? Like I get the little room? Oh, fine. Then let's talk about your evictions because I've got some more information, but I'm not going to say yeah." And so Angel's like, "Okay, well, one thing we're not going to do is bring this negative energy over my threshold. I've been in Dwell. I've been in Architectural Digest. How dare you? You tell me right now, or you won't get to see my kitchen." So
she's so concerned about negative energy entering her threshold when she has those like 3 lumps of men just sitting there in those Adirondack chairs, not saying anything to the women, so rude later in the episode. And she's worried about these women being negative? Excuse you.
Yeah. So she demands. She's like, "I am in a cowboy hat. Who has more information?" And Wendy's like, "Well, I guess what I heard about you was that a friend of mine who is a real estate agent said that you called her and said you were moving to the area and you want a property to look like it's $14,000 a month, but you're only able to pay $1,000 a month." Okay, well, first of all, I say, who doesn't say that? When I go shopping, I want something that looks expensive and it's $5. I mean,
yeah, I do have to say that like when this information first came into evidence a few weeks ago, I was like, oh gosh, Angel is so busted. But then when you find out that this person is saying that Angel wanted to only pay $1,000 a month, I was like, wait a second, I don't believe that at all. The reason why is that for a family of 4 to want to pay, like you can't get like a 1-bedroom, I feel like, for like $1,000 a month. And so I just feel like that's such an unreasonable request that like even I don't think Angel said that. Like I think Angel,
even, I mean, especially in like a Tony area, no, there's no way. No one's that stupid. And I think if she said that, she was saying it like, okay, I want it to look like it's $1 million, but I don't want to pay $1 million. which is a
Maybe it
normal
was like
thing to
tongue in
say,
cheek.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, they're making it this huge deal, and no one thought she was going to get a place for $1,000. That's just stupid. And Giselle's like, well, that lady, Angel's like, well, nothing is $1,000. And Tia says, well, ooh, she sounds like an awful realtor, and I'm saying that it's a princess. And Giselle's like, no, because she said she didn't want to work with her. She will not work with somebody who will only spend $1,000. And so Wendy's like, actually, she's the willy good realtor. So suck on that.
Yeah, and Wendy's basically like, the realtor has no reason to lie on you. Plus, she's not the only one that said this before. Well, I mean, then just say, give us more information then, Wendy. Don't leave us hanging here then. So Angel is like, well, I don't know if she was upset because it didn't work out because she didn't find us a property. And Wendy's like, oh, so you do know who I'm talking about. She's like, oh, she does know who you're talking about. Oh, she does know who you're talking about. And Angel's like, I do. She's like, well, Angel's basically like, I'm paying $14,000 for this house. Trust me. And I'm like really bothered. Like I don't like it. I am paying $14,000. Okay.
Yeah, how dare you?
So,
I'm paying the money. And also, Angel, first of all, one thing Angel is paying for is PR, because Angel has been on every podcast and every interview show. I mean, she's on everything. I'm surprised she hasn't popped up on QVC or the Bible channel, because she has been on everything I've seen. And listen, I haven't listened to any of it because it's Angel. Like, I don't know who thinks like, you know what? We need to up our ratings this week on this podcast. Get Angel. Get me.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
But I see the little clips they post all over the internet, and in one of them, she's saying, "Now that house was $14,500, and I have the Airbnb listing to show you to prove it. So I don't want anyone thinking that I was trying to pay $1,000." So whatever. Apparently, she brought the Airbnb receipts.
I believe her. That's like, to me, of all the things, like this is one. This is an easy thing to believe. I don't believe that was her natural face on that photo on her Instagram from earlier in the season, but this thing I do believe. So then Stacey's like, well, why can't we just call the agent? I mean, since you know who it is, why don't you just call her and say, why did you lie on me? Why don't you call her? And Angel's like, no. And when he's like, oh, okay, so now you want to make calls? Because you didn't want to make calls when we asked you to call TJ. Well, that was different. You know, with personal relationships, you might need to pause and think about when you want to call. But with business, you call and straighten things out. So why not in this moment? I was like, no, sorry. Wendy got you on that one, Stacey.
And wasn't TJ business too? So Angel's like, well, my business is slated to open in 2026, and that's happening. And if someone wants to spread lies about me, about the CEO of Wonderland, which I've talked about like it is an open business for a whole year, and now we're finding out it is not an open business. I hope that they make some lies better than me wanting to spend $1,000 a month on a house, okay? Because I was under the impression Wonderland was open. You know?
I think it is open. I think she was trying to expand into Potomac, so maybe that's what she meant by it.
Oh, okay.
But also, it's a Real Housewives of Potomac business, so you never really quite know what's going on.
I just don't see how lucrative that is. Guiding a few people through the wilderness for a few days to touch crystals doesn't seem like it's gonna. I don't know. I think you need to aim bigger for football money.
I think what's so funny about Angel is that she talks about this. This is obviously an important part of her life. Crystals, meditation, affirmations, wellness. But it really only seems to be part of her when it's convenient on camera. Like, it's not, you don't look at her and say, oh, this woman is like this, she's all about this, because it doesn't really seem to come out of her personality. It feels like she does it, but like it's just funny that she is actually professionally involved in it, because it doesn't seem like it flows out of her. It reminds me of on Next Gen New York City when Ava was like, looks at Ariana Bierman and is like, you don't strike me. You don't look like you would be someone who is a fashion designer, right? Like, Ariana may like fashion and may want to do fashion, but like there's nothing about her that oozes like that this is part of like the fabric of your being. And so it's just so surprising to me that this is the path for Angel, because it's like we'll go episodes on end and then suddenly she's like, oh, let's do a wellness thing. You're like, but where did this come from, you know?
Well, it seems like a very I'm not from here, but I'm gonna pretend I'm from here kind of thing. Like, I've lived here long enough and now I'm a local. Like when people move to LA and they're like, yeah, I do yoga now and I've been to a celebrity center. I'm from LA, you know, and then they become really like hoo-ha or whatever. And I think
Yeah.
maybe she's Coloradoing that. Like, what could we do in Colorado? People love crystals and spirituality and hiking. And it's like, yeah, but you
Yeah.
don't. Do you? I don't know.
I feel like she likes it. She does it. Like, like I like yoga, but no one's going to look at me and be like, oh my God, Ben is like, he speaks of yoga.
Ben should start a yoga business.
I'm a yogi. I should start a yoga business. Come to my sound bath.
Yoga
No
and
one's looking to me
bagels.
for a
You'd probably
sound
make
bath.
$1 million if you did like mix the things you
Yoga
really
and
love,
bagels.
like yoga and bagels. Fuck yeah! Like you can do yoga, but it's like the easier kind, and then we all go have a bagel together.
You want to know something really exciting? This Thursday, which of course is Bagel Thursday, as is every Thursday, but this Bagel Thursday, it also happens to coincide with National Bagel Day. That's right. I'm so excited. And I'm in New York for it. I get to have a New York City bagel on National Bagel Day on Bagel Thursday. See, now
pretty
that's
good.
something
It's a
that
big
oozes
deal.
out of my that's coming out of, like, you look at me and you think bagel, right?
Yeah,
And I'm
I'd
not
give
trying
you
to be
$10,000 to follow you around for that, watching you talk about bagels.
I would 100% lead a bagel tour in Los Angeles. 100%. And I would gladly accept payment for that.
You're like, here's Hanks and Pops. The end.
There's so much more. Anyway, the point, I don't even know why I'm making this point about Angel. This is almost feels like an unnecessary point, but it's just what happens. But why are we talking? Why am I all revved up about Angel and
Because
why
Bagel
wellness-
Thursday is national and it's coming up. That's why. You're like,
When
I
is
have a
national
holiday.
run out? When is national run out of water in your Airbnb day?
Yeah, exactly.
Was that last night?
Oof. So they're still squabbling over this $1,000 thing. The ladies don't really believe it. Tia's like, well, Angel doesn't strike me as cheap. It just sounds outlandish. $100,000 isn't going anywhere. But maybe in Nebraska.
Angel's like, okay, well, everyone, let's have a mindful moment. I hope I cleared everything up. I don't care who doesn't believe it. It doesn't matter to me. And Tia's like, ooh, that wasn't the mindful moment. And so there's this, we have like this mindful guide who's like basically Gia Giudice. She's Colorado's Gia Giudice.
She is Gia Giudice. And she talks like her way of talk. I wouldn't trust her. She's like Gia Giudice if Gia Giudice was at like a Christian youth camp. Like, hi guys, are we happy to be here today to celebrate Jesus? Yes. Okay, let's get some breath into our muscles and some Jesus into our souls. Okay, stretch it. Like, ugh, the energy. I'm trying to meditate. Get this child out of here. Get her out of here. Go back to your tiki-talkie. I'm trying to do some yogi.
Yes. So they all start to move out to the balcony to do some mindful meditation. But before they do that, Giselle turns to Stacy and she's like, so how is TJ? Giselle tries so many times this episode to get other people to be messy. Like so many times. I mean, how many times does she ask to Wendy to call the realtor, but this episode and last episode, right? She is trying so hard,
What Giselle
and no one will
does.
take it.
It's too much. It's very like Heather from Salt Lake City. It's like, I get that you think that this is your job, but you're overdoing it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
calm down a little. So Stacey's
Well,
like, I don't
except
know how TJ
Giselle
is.
is funnier.
Well, yeah. She's like, I don't know how TJ is, but I do know how Timo is.
So now they all go out to the
I love
balcony.
him. I love that guy.
He's full of so much personality. So
He's
they go out
been
to the
making
balcony.
oval, squarish, rectangular-ish, roundish pizzas with no cheese or sauce.
Isn't it sexy? They go out to the balcony, and they all sit on mats for like this meditation. Everyone except for Angel, who like sits on like a AC unit or something. It was so bizarre. She's sort of sitting above them, watching down. And they're gathering there, and Bianca, the fake Gia Giudice mindfulness instructor, is like, okay, everyone, we're gonna settle in. Here's some organic lavender. Okay, so we're gonna set an intention for the rest of your trip. Take a moment to relax your shoulders for a second. If you happen to be sitting on an air conditioner, please just let your butt settle into the grooves of the vent. Okay, and now let's talk about intentions. Starting with, let's see, let's start with everyone. Oh, first, let's do some jazz hands. They start shaking their hands, start doing jazz hands. And Stacy is like, I did not fly to Colorado to do jazz hands while Angel sits and watches us. I'd rather have champagne than do yoga. And I know that I'm a yogi, and I shouldn't say that, but this is just where we are.
This Bianca chick, oh my gosh. She's like, okay, guys, take a second to relax your shoulders. Do a little shoulder roll. You better do a little shoulder roll. Yes, you better do it. It's like, oh, why are you talking like this? What is wrong with this person, Bianca? I was so annoyed with Bianca this whole time. She's like, give me some jazz fingers. Yes, jazz fingers. Not the jazz fingers. Am I right, ladies? It's like, can we just... Kid Pop, can we just get through this? Thank you. So yeah, Stacy's like, I didn't fly here to do jazz hands. And Bianca's like, you see how you feel? A little buzzy because we're letting go of that energy. Oh my God, where's that energy going? Bye energy, see ya energy. Oh my God.
Not energy leaving. And so Kierna is crying again because she's high on some sort of pill and she's in low altitude. And then now it's like time to set an intention. Angel is like, guys, I would love for all of us to set an intention. So Bianca's like, I love that idea.
We have to point out, Angel's not even sitting on the ground. Okay,
I know.
Everyone else has to sit on the ground. Angel is sitting on some outdoor air conditioner or some shit and just watching them. And they're like, why the fuck doesn't she have to sit on the ground? Why are the rest of us stuck on the ground? And this is, I think, goes back to the point of Angel doesn't even do this. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She's like, I'm not sitting on the fucking ground. No.
Yeah, I just think it's so odd. Yeah, and it's like sitting on the AC unit, you know? So Angel's like, well, my intention for this trip is just to get to know you ladies on a deeper level. Oh my God, they get to know you. You'll get to know me and I'll get to know you. I was like, oh gosh. And Ashley is like, Angel has said repeatedly that she wants to get to know the other ladies in the group. And then we see the montage of her get like a million times. I'm really looking forward to getting to know you and for you to get to know me. I'm like, Angel, we know you now. It's not getting any better.
Yeah. And she's like, well, hopefully she puts her money where her mouth is because we really want to get to know her. Hopefully she admits that her husband hates her and that she's broke. So Stacy's like, my intention for this trip is to be present and to enjoy you guys because I'm tired of fighting. I would like to enjoy you a little. Wow. I don't need any of your intentions. The season is over. Just get up and fight. I don't want to meditate, and I certainly don't want to watch you meditate.
Yeah. Ashley's also, her intention is to pull back more layers and laugh and realize it's not that deep. And Wendy also says that she just wants to have fun. They don't have a lot of time together. Let's have fun. And Tia's also like, I want to get to know everyone better. Everyone's saying these really nice things. And it gets to Giselle, and she's like, okay, my intention, have a room with a bathroom. Not having this.
And Angel's like, well, Giselle's made it her entire life's mission to criticize me and to nitpick, and that's what she wants to do. Then let her do it with her no water, her no running water, and her twin bed.
So later on is going to be a hoedown. And
yes, you better bet it's gonna be a hoedown. Yes, hoedown. Okay, you can leave, Bianca. You can leave.
Not a hoedown. Talk about hoe. Hey, this hoe is down. Am I right? Altitudes.
Pimp up, hoe down. Am I right? Oh God, this was fun, guys. Leave, Bianca.
Bianca's like, well, fuck you all. I'm taking your water. So Kierna, they're all excited for the hoedown, and Kierna is like, hi, and they are talking about their arrangements and everything, and Giselle is once again bragging about how she took everyone to Nevis, you know, she made sure everyone had their own room and it was beautiful and their own bathroom, even Stacy, yada yada yada. So she's still very salty about these arrangements.
She's like, so I expected Mrs. Wondernuts to do the same.
Wondernuts.
So they're like, so Giselle, are you still leaving? And Kieran's like, I don't know if I would. It's really dangerous out there. It's so dangerous. Why am I crying? And Giselle says there's a hotel. And Wendy's like, uh-oh, she's willing to go to a hotel, you guys. But the hill, and Kieran just says again, but the hill was so dangerous. I wouldn't go to the hill. The hill's very, very dangerous.
The hills are alive with the sound of music. Kierna laughs. She has probably no idea what the reference is. She's like, so, okay, well, Kierna, you need to lay down. And Angel, I think you need to take your friend or whatever. So they're basically trying to make arrangements to be like, okay, we got to like go take a rest. And it turns out Kierna is going to Angel's house. That was like a thing we were confused about. We were like, why isn't Kierna going? But she is going. And Monica's like, how many bedrooms is your house? She's like, well, it's 6, but unfortunately, a lot of them are used. Like Bobby uses one for his man cave, and like the bunk room is Bobby's man cave too. And then there's a kitchen, which is Bobby's man cave. And we have a nice foyer, but that's his man cave. So unfortunately, it's all used up.
Lots of man caves for Bobby. You better work it, man cave. Bianca, get in your car and drive away. Drive away, Bianca.
By the way, if we find out that if Bobby's friends are staying in the house also, which I don't know if we'll ever find that out, but if those guys are staying in the house, I'm gonna give a big raised single eyebrow and go, because you're telling me that you took up bedrooms for those guys who wouldn't even stand up and say hello to the women. But this is pure conjecture. But I like getting mad on pure conjecture.
Well, 6 bedrooms. Okay, how many kids does she have? She's got a lot of kids, right? 3 at least.
Yeah.
I forget. I don't count the kids. I'm not really a kid counter. Sorry. But she's got, let's say she has 3. So she's got at least 2 bedrooms for the kids. She's got one for her and Bobby. She's got one that's like a bunk room. So that still would only leave 3 bedrooms, which is not enough. So, but
Yeah.
even without having the room in the house, getting them a place an hour away is crazy. An hour and a half, actually, is cray-cray.
It is cray-cray. They did mention that the Airbnb was in Littleton, right? Didn't they mention Littleton at one point? But I don't know. Someone's got to do a map. We got to see what the distances are. But I feel like in the past, when people have invited people to stay in their houses, it has always worked out. Like, because people have big-ass houses, and people share beds and stuff. And I just feel like when people have gone on cast trips to people's homes, like to Camille's place in Colorado on Beverly Hills, or to there was another Colorado place I think they stayed at on like Dallas. And anytime anyone goes to Colorado is what I'm saying. They don't.
You're like, Colorado has the space. I've seen it on Housewives.
When they went to Monique's house in that's where they went. They had a trip where they went to Monique's house, like her other house. The husband's not there with the kids. Get Bobby and the kids out of there. It's like, send them on vacation. Have them rent an Airbnb or something. Like the kids have that opens up 2 rooms. Well, no one wants to stay in the kids' room, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way to do it. I feel
because it's not like everybody's dying to wake up and look at Angel's face. You know what I mean? They're not like, oh my God, we don't get to spend more time with Angel. I think it's more like, you dragged us all to Colorado to advertise your wander butts and to like show everybody, to show the TV how gorgeous your house is, but you're treating us like shit. Like, you're not treating us, you're treating us like an afterthought, and you're just using the show to kind of like promote your own bullshit and, fuck off.
And it's like, if they were like 20 minutes away or 15 minutes away, I think it would be okay, but they really are so far away. And it is weird. Like, you could just get them a regular Airbnb. I feel like this cast, for as much as this cast has come up, Potomac is definitely one of those shows that has like a rich history of like bad Airbnbs. So like, you can pull it off.
Yeah. So Angel's like, well, the other rooms are for Kieran and Tia. And Monique said, or Jazzy's like, so when did you and Tia get so close? Which I think is a good question. But listen, she needs to get some friends. So Tia's like, well, she's been very kind to me. And because she and Angel are super close, it was like an automatic connection there. Angel only has 2 extra bedrooms. What's the problem?
Because, like, who else would go, right? Like, who else would Angel invite if she has room for 2 people?
Anybody would be questionable, right? Because she's not friends with anybody.
She's not friends with anyone. It's not going to be Giselle. It's not going to be Ashley. Angel said this sort of nice thing about Wendy. Like, I think generally, I generally like you. Does not qualify you to be in the main house, though, right? And then after this, it's not going to be Stacy. I don't think she's even has a relationship with Stacy of any like noteworthiness, right? I actually think she should have invited Monique, and because I'm surprised she didn't pull the WAG card and be like, from one WAG to another, come stay in my house.
Yeah. So Angel's like, okay, let's go. So some of the girls are going, and so they get in the truck, and Kierna and Tia are getting in the truck, and she's like, well, if that girl really said what Wendy said, she said, that's bad. She's like, oh, that is so unprofessional. She's like, very unprofessional. That is a very bad realtor. Very, very bad.
Cut to Giselle. So, Wendy, do we want to call the agent? Let's call the agent. Let's get her on the phone. Let's hear her. Come on, come on. And Wendy's like, I'm not calling her. Let Angel do that. She's like, I'm not getting dragged into this mess, Giselle, more than I have. Okay.
More than me, one who started it.
She started,
the lady
but she
who started it in the beginning.
But then what's going to happen is that Wendy will get blamed for calling the realtor when it was Giselle who really wanted to do it the most.
Yeah, I think Wendy's just like, I'm not doing the work. I'm tired. She can do it.
Yeah.
I've passed the baton. I'm exhausted. And Monique's like, okay, so what was she saying? I'll call her. She goes, yeah. She's like, I'm not calling her. So Ashley's like, okay, well, that's fair. Well, you wouldn't be so defensive about the word eviction if you weren't evicted. Yes, you would. If I was leaving an Airbnb and someone accused me of being evicted, yeah, I would be like I wasn't evicted. But I love that Giselle takes that as this huge piece of evidence. So we go to Angel's truck, and Kierna says, well, first of all, for professional reasons, that's extremely unprofessional. It's extremely bad.
And Angel's saying, like, well, Giselle was mad because she thought she had a gotcha, but really it made her look stupid again because I keep my business tight. These issues that they have, they are made up and they're based off of jealousy. Because let me tell you something. They hate the house, but that house is a $1.6 million house that they're staying in. That's like wag money right there, okay? It speaks of ingratitude, wagless ingratitude.
And she goes, now listen, I'm a humble lady, which I was cracking up at because in the other scene when they were like, oh, you only want to spend $1,000. And she goes, let me tell you something. My very, very rich ass did not, like she said something like that. And then it cuts to her like, yeah, listen, I'm a very humble lady and I'm not sure where this energy is coming from, but I'm an eternal optimist. Wonderland.
If there's anything I have picked up from Angel all season long is that she is an eternal optimist. That's what I always think of. When I see her smiling face every single episode, not being a wet blanket, I'm like, there's an eternal optimist if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. And so Tia's like, well, Angel, I know that obviously it was a given that Kay would be in your house, but I feel so special that I was included. So thank you so much. Do you have a whole bunch of stuff walking through your garden or backyard or property or anything like that? Tell me right now what to be afraid of. She's like, well, we've got bobcats and plenty of snakes. And she's like, rattlesnakes. Yes, rattlesnakes, boa constrictors. We've got the snake from Jungle Book that is actually bigger than a mountain that could eat you. So be very, ooh, like, what the fuck am I staying here? Who brings me to a house with rattlesnakes and bobcats?
I know. Also, something just occurred to me. Isn't Angel's whole thing that we, Wanderlust is that we lead people on these it's like wellness retreats, right? So one must assume they keep people in a place for the wellness. Do they keep them in the Airbnb that the women are at? Like, where do they keep them? Because they have 36 acres. The whole thing is they have 36 acres. I always thought Wanderlust took place on their property, but I just have so many questions.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder if they make them
Right?
pitch tents and dig holes for their poopies or something. Because that's
Maybe it's a whole other property. I don't know.
Where do you stay when you go to Wanderlust?
I don't know. But anyway, Giselle, back to the Airbnb. Giselle is like, when we went to Nevis, y'all felt warm, y'all felt loved. Giselle's so hung up. She's so proud of her Nevis trip, which was fine, but like nothing memorable, but she keeps going back to it. And Monique is like, well, I thought we were staying at her house, because then we see a flashback again to the episode, where Angel was talking about, like, if you're coming to my house, I need to make sure you don't act this way. We need to clear this up before you come to my house. I invited you all to my house, my 36 acres, So they're like, yeah, we thought we were staying at the house that she's talked about all season long.
Yeah. And so they're all upset, and Wendy's like, my favorite part of the trips is when we come tonight, we talk in the kitchen over cheesecake and we hang out and talk about how stupid Woz is. And they're like, yeah, we're robbed of our Golden Girls moment. And then the other ladies, Kieran's like, is a mountain lion gonna get us? And Angel goes, no, if you see a mountain lion, it's already too late. You're not gonna see one because you'll be dead. And Tia's like, well, there's a point of entry in Stacy's room. And she goes, so where we meet? And Tia goes, they may smell Stacy. It's like, oh my God. Stacy still catching strays. She just can't win, that chick.
Left and right. So back in the Airbnb, Stacy is saying, I just hate that we're separated already. And when Wendy's like, I hate that. And Stacy's like, and now we're going to be separated again because you guys are leaving. Because Giselle really wants to get a hotel. And as we talked about on Crappy Hour, there was footage of them at the Four Seasons of Denver, which I wonder if that's where they wind up going at the end of this episode, because this Airbnb just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, they just needed a shower. So
yeah.
So Wendy's like, if Angel was going to tweet us like this, then why did she even invite us on the TWIP? I'm like, okay, you know what? Some of the people I can see being like, wait a minute, why don't we get to stay with Angel? But Wendy, you're the one who's like, Angel just wanted to pay $1,000 for her place. Why does Angel want to put you up? I mean, come on. The fact that it's Monique and Giselle crying the loudest when they're being the meanest is so this show. You get what you pay. You get what you earn. Okay.
So the Wendy crew, I'm not the Wendy crew, the Angel crew arrives at her house, and Bobby shields Angel from the rain. And, they go inside. They're like so impressed with the house. She's like, oh, this is beautiful. It's gorgeous. And Kieran is like, I love the reinvention of Whitaker marble. I was like, what? Kieran is suddenly a marble expert. And they're just like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, it's lovely. It's gorgeous. Of course, they're just like gaga over it.
So
but
we
actually,
see the rooms. The house is gorgeous. The house
really
is so pretty. Yeah, it's really, really well done. And the guest rooms are gorgeous. Like the treatment on the walls is so pretty. Is it like a cement? What is it on the? It looks like velvet.
It looks great.
It's just so pretty. This whole place, the beds, even.
Yeah,
really
but then there's also like a violinist who's like standing in the corner of the kitchen as they walk through on their little tour. I'm like, what's happening here? Or maybe that was later. I don't know. But at some point there was a violinist. Actually, it was.
Yeah, there was a violinist at the party.
At the party.
Yeah. So they asked Tia if she's happy to be here, and she's like, well, I was told where I was gonna. She goes, let me fix my face so it's not obvious what I'm saying. I was told where to stay, and I stayed there.
Yes. And Kieran's like, is this the Wonderland? I feel like I'm in Wonderland. And she's like, oh, wow, this is beautiful. Oh, you also have your own ensuite bathroom. You have your own bathroom. Oh. And they're just like, oh, this is the lap of luxury. Cut to Wendy. She's like, the magic of our girls trip happens when we're all under one roof. And like, I could sleep in the bed with you for like a night or whatever. I just think it's a bathroom piece. I don't know. It's just really sad. So it's kind of funny because for sure, if you're going on a group trip, that is the best time. It doesn't matter whether it's on a Housewives show or if it's just in real life. The best is like at the end of the night, you're all together. You're sort of having a slumber party. But they are really leaning into it here in a way that they never have on any other girls trip. They never talk about it this much.
We're not going to see each other getting ready at night. How will we talk to each other when we get glammed up? How are we going to live on this trip?
But it is funny because it's like the four of them, and there's like this whole giant bar of alcohol, and Stacey's like, well, we have all that liquor. Who's going to drink it if you guys leave? Because, again, Giselle and Ashley are thinking about leaving. And they're like, they have all this booze. They've got all this snacks. But it is just like four or five of them. It's just so awkward.
So Ashley says, I need a bathroom. I poop 3 times a day. They're like, wow. And I was like, I'm like twice. I said, okay, that's where we've come to. We're finding out how many times each person poops now. Come on, man. Yeah. So they keep going on and on about this. And then now it's time for Angel's welcome mixer. And so...
by the way, a welcome mixer where the people who are supposed to mix refuse to mix. It's more like what's the opposite of a mixer? Separator. It's a welcome separator.
Yeah. So Angel's getting glam. And she's like, oh, this face is giving. Now I'm going to go get nice and drunk. So this was $100. I'll give you 50. I'll give you $50.
Yeah, I cannot wait for the welcome mixer. I have a beautiful dinner, open fire dinner for the ladies among the backdrop of our 36 acres, and I have really tried to plan details so the ladies know that I'm being intentional with their time. And so then we see them all getting into the car to go 35 miles north for this one. It's a 1 hour. It's 35 miles, but it takes 1 hour, I'm assuming, because of windy mountain roads.
Yeah, so it takes an hour and a half. Yeah, so it's even a lie about the the distance.
Yeah.
So Monique calls to check on her son to waste some time, and she's like, "Mr. Cole, oh, it sounds like you've got heat exhaustion and dehydration. Okay, I've got a remedy for you. It's called your nanny. Stop fucking calling me." Okay.
Yeah. She's like, I finally get phone service only to hear this bullshit. Go in the shade, drink some water. So then now they're talking about divorces and like marriages and stuff. And Jazzy's asking, like, hey, did you guys have a sticky, like, really bad divorce? Like, I hate you. I hate that we're done with this. Da, 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 da. And Monica's like, no, but I don't think he thought it was going to go through, you know? And she says that Chris didn't even really want a divorce. And Monica's saying, she's also joking that, like, in light of recent events, Stacey would be the most comfortable person she could talk to with her issues with her ex because she's the only one who really knows Chris Samuels at all. So maybe she can relate.
Yeah, and
I'm assuming that's what she meant by that, or did she mean
that they're dating? Like she was joking, like, oh, well, it's her ex too. If they dated, so she would get it. But I think she was kidding. So then Ashley, meanwhile, is like, oh my God, look at those houses. They have to be Airbnbs or whatever. I mean, we could have been at those. I see 30 Airbnbs. It's just everywhere you pass is like, wow, there's a place with running water, I'll bet. Oh, God. I bet they have a toilet. Someone's probably pooping in that house.
They probably have. I mean, it is. I mean, they are passing several houses. Although, to be fair, if Angel had put them in one of those houses, they'd be like, we have to stay here in some crappy suburban ranch house while they're in the lap of luxury. Yeah. So they would never be happy, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's the thing with Giselle. She's so unhappy about every little thing that when there's really something to be unhappy about, it's like, oh, God, there she is complaining again. Even when it's real, it's like, we don't have water or anywhere to poop. It's like, well, you do nothing but complain. So it's like you're the little girl who cried, I can't poop. So
then they do the thing with it. They're still driving, and they actually go on to Airbnb. They're like, let's just see what's near here. And they're like, okay, here's one. It's an 8-bedroom hot tub in Red Rocks and sleeps 20. They're like, there's what you could do is 20. And the thing is this, they're right. Of course there are giant Airbnbs. Colorado is such a, like that Denver area in general, Boulder, all that. Like, you know, people want to go and have a cabin, you know, and have a whole bunch of people there. So it is crazy that theirs is so far away.
So in the other car, Jazzy's like, oh, my God, 53 minutes. Monique says, wow, you guys, yeah, find an Airbnb. Find an Airbnb. So Monique's like, well, I've hosted 2 trips, and the network does cover certain expenses, but it's our job to be in line with production every step of the way. And then we see clips of Monique's trip to France and her lake house in 2020. And she's like,
what do you think she means by that?
So I'm going to make sure it's good. She means that even though they might pick up the tab, it's still your responsibility to make sure everyone's comfortable, make sure their accommodations are good. Like, production doesn't do all that for you. They just pay for it. So if your trip sucks, it's because you sucked at the planning of it.
This was actually, I thought, a significant moment. This is the first time I can remember, I think it was the first time ever, that there was a breaking of the fourth wall about how the logistics of the trips are taken care of. They always, even in the later years of the Housewives, where we've seen a lot of fourth wall breaking, they always make it seem like, oh my God, I just had this idea to go on a trip and I'll do it all myself. And this is the first time that someone's actually said, and that Bravo's put on the air, like, look, the network pays for stuff, but, you know, yada, yada, yada. I thought that was like a pretty significant moment.
Yeah. So they're
in
talking
an otherwise
about
insignificant series of things. I like this is guys. It's 2026.
Huge
this is a
moment.
significant thing that happened in America
huge, huge moment, guys.
in an otherwise insignificant vertical. Yes.
This year, my horoscope said shit's about to change, and it just did. It just did.
Acknowledgement.
Monique says the energy was just weird. It was like, damn. And Jazzy's like, yeah, I mean, she just seems so emotional. I mean, what the hell? She goes, yeah, but this is Monique. She goes, you've got to understand there's so much other stuff she's not sharing. And I can confidently say that because I've been in her shoes. Like, I see right through it. You know, it's a lot of pressure when you're doing it all and you have one whole partner that may not be. I'm just hypothetically speaking, you know, just, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's abuse. I don't know. But seeming pretty abusive to me. I'm just saying, just rhetorical. Not
I didn't take it as abuse. I really didn't. I did not like take that as an abuse. What I took it as is that Bobby calls all the shots, and Angel is afraid that if she doesn't go along, or she doesn't like sort of stand and say like I don't want to do that, or no, or like stand up to Bobby and like express her wills, that he's going to leave her. And that's how so she's sort of powerless in this relationship. And it's a relationship that she loves being in the relationship. She likes the idea of it. She likes the image of her life as like, hey, I'm a wag and I'm married to a football player. And we've got this mansion and everything's great. We got this beautiful life. But fundamentally, it's like, it's not an equal partnership. That's my takeaway.
I see what you're saying. The reason I say abuse, and I don't mean like physical abuse, like she's accusing him of physical abuse. I'm just saying that what Monique has told the ladies about her relationship is abuse. She's like describes an abusive relationship. She wrote in her book that it's an abusive relationship, right? It's like she's very out about it being. Well, actually, she said physical. She said in her book, she said that they physically abused each other, like had moments of physical abuse. And stuff like that. And so she's telling the people this, she's showing them her book. She's kind of like, it's not like she's being shy about her own. So when she compares her relationship, when she says, oh, I recognize that's exactly what my husband did. Like you're comparing her husband to your abusive husband. You know what I mean? So, you know, abusive, more toxic, maybe toxic is a better word, but it's still just like, ooh, like gross.
Not the best.
Right.
Yeah.
And because, you know, even though what she's saying, like we see it, and when, you know, when we see it later, the way he is with her, I don't want to say whether it is or not, because I don't know whether it is or not. I just think it's like the second he says like, oh, it's going to, you know, we'll get there when we get there. They all switch to this immediately. Like, oh, well, Bobby, no. I don't know. It just seems like I get that they attack each other on these shows, but it just seems to be going a little low to be comparing her relationship to your abusive relationship. It's like, ooh, like,
yeah. Again, I took it more just like she was saying, Angel is afraid to just be herself. But I mean, it could be both ways. And definitely Angel takes it the way that you said it, I think.
Yeah, because they just went to this whole book thing about Monique's terrible relationship. You know what I mean? She wrote a whole book on how she's not part of this horrible relationship anymore. And she's like, oh my God, your relationship was just like mine. It's like, excuse you?
That was not a book. That was a series of love letters from her former self. Written by ChatGPT.
So Jazzy is like, well, as a wag, I don't experience that kind of thing. You are a 5-minute wag. Okay. And didn't your husband have kids on you? I mean, come on.
She's a wagamama. It's a joke that would make more sense in London because there's a series of restaurants there called Wagamama. So yeah, no, I agree. You're a recent wag.
Yeah, you've been here 2 minutes. Okay,
you're like a wag newt.
Yeah, call me 3 kids later.
A wag zygote. God, it must be fun to be able to start every sentence with "as a wag." I think that's probably why. I mean, it's got like what a fun
wag.
privilege. Yeah.
As a wag.
As a wag.
Yeah. I don't experience that, you know, but I wouldn't want a woman bringing an ex-husband and comparing them to my current husband, you know. So Monique is saying, yeah, I mean, maybe she doesn't want to open up and maybe she doesn't want to talk about it. I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know. Who am I to say? And Stacey's like, be careful. She's very sensitive. about her man. And she's like, that's why. I mean, hello, I've been there too. So that's what I'm saying. I was sensitive about my man too. So she reminds me of where I was in some ways. Yeah.
No, that being said, this is not the first time on Bravo that these moments have arisen where people have recently experienced some sort of trauma, and then they project it onto a situation. They see the similar signs, and they feel like, warnings, warnings. But is the track record on Bravo on this like terrible? Like, is it every time someone does this, it's like, see, they were wrong. They shouldn't have projected. Or has it been actually fairly accurate? I'm just trying to remember the examples. For some reason, I'm going right to Lisa Rinna and Kim Richards.
Well, with most of the examples, and look, I say this about my own personality. If you just automatically think everybody's shitty, 80% of the time you're going to be right, because that's just how that's just humanity.
I know, that's why everyone always says, everyone always goes, Ronnie's always right, and Ben is
right.
Right. Ben always says, it's like, because Ronnie always is like, Ronnie's always
negative.
Like, because they're shitty. You'll see they're shitty. And then eventually they're shitty, because guess what? It turns out that, like most people on Bravo, at a certain point, they just spoil and they turn shitty. And then I'm the one that they're like, we love Ben, but he just doesn't get it. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, because you see the good. You see the good a lot more than I do. And I think that I'm going to win more, because I see
you are going to win.
humans are nasty. Like, it takes more effort for a human to be good than it takes for a human to be nasty. It doesn't mean I think like humanity just sucks in general. I just think that humanity has a very dark side, and it's easier to just live in the dark side. It's harder to do good. And so I think that, just voting on human nature, you're going to be right if you say people are shitty. So I think on these shows, when people are like, oh, her husband is shitty, 90% of the time they're going to be really
That's going to work out eventually. It's going to work out. Yeah. So, anywho, they all arrive at Angel's at long last, and they're like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And then we see there's people in the backyard. This is when there's a violinist lurking in the kitchen playing like Mozart, which it's like, okay, sure, that's a new interpretation of a hoedown. I appreciate a Mozart moment at the hoedown. Sort of a hybrid tea party, garden party, hoedown. Sure, go for it.
Well, it's definitely something to be like, I'm rich. I had a violinist following people around. Nobody wants that. Nobody is like, you know what I really needed today? Some violinist following me around, playing some bullshit. I don't
like
know.
a kid.
I don't know what is this song? Do you know any like Charlie XCX?
But it's also like, it's like if you ask a kid, what is it like to be rich? And like, well, there's a violinist at the party, right? Like a kid would say that. And that's, it's like, I feel like I've never seen the movie Richie Rich, but I feel like Richie Rich probably becomes rich and has a party and has a violinist there, right? But this is Angel doing it. So she has this random violinist coming through, because she's a humble woman. We forgot to mention. She's a very humble woman.
Super humble woman. So the house is stunning, and Ashley's like, clearly no lack of land here, and you don't have a house big enough to sleep some girls? Land does not equal housing.
I know.
You dumb. So
I'm going to defend Angel on that.
Stacy says, Poppy probably won't allow it. Oh, Angel, I brought you a little crystal for your home. And she goes, Ashley, are you trying to make me love you? I just love this. Now I feel bad. Are you trying to stay in my bed? I didn't even know that you knew that I collect crystals. And Ashley's like, yeah, I had a sense.
Yeah, and we do see clips of Angel's new age moments from the season. So it's not like there are none of them. Just don't feel like it oozes from her. So then we see our violinist, and Tia's like, who does that on your wedding day? We can have him. Who? British Shade. And Angel's like, okay, ladies, there's a bar over here with the specialty mezcal drink. Mezcal. It's a drink that we discovered in New York in the Upper East Side, brought there from Mexico, apparently. You'll really enjoy it.
I would like to thank a lady named Erin for bringing this to America. And I got mezcal because I know that's your favorite, Giselle, okay? And I wanted to make sure you had something that you would like. There are also toilets that flush here. You're welcome.
So Giselle's like, I mean, she's got a lot of making up to do. So, but she's like happy. She's like, okay, Angel, I see you. I mean, it's funny how like the simplest flattery will start to turn someone. And then Stacy goes, Angel is showing more excitement for Giselle than her own husband. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, no, I think like Angel's very excited about Bobby. I think that was a wrong take by Stacy.
Doesn't she see Bobby all the time? Like every time Bobby comes, does she have to be like, Bobby, I got you mezcal?
Yeah, I think she's like really excited about Bobby. They all say hi, and then Monique is like, "Hi, I'm Monique Samuels. We used to talk on the phone for like years and years and years, like years and years and years ago when, like my ex-husband mentored you. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm an even more elder wag than your wife. So just remember
You might
that.
not recognize me, but I'm a wag. That's was a wag. So,
Was a wag.
yeah.
I'm what your wife will look like soon enough. Okay, after you guys have a bitter divorce.
I am the representation of the autobiography that your wife is going to write to herself in letters, in voice notes on her iPhone.
If you find some love letters, if you find some love letters written by your wife, just know they're coming to me. Just the metaphorical version.
He's like, yeah, I talked to you in high school. God, that was a long time ago. She's like, yeah, full circle moment. Wow.
So now then Angel brings them down to an oxygen bar, because why not relive the year 2001? Am I right, guys?
Who doesn't want to breathe in fluorescent green food coloring? God,
yeah, what was this?
It just seems so healthy.
Back in when I moved to LA in 2001, Woody Harrelson had an oxygen bar on the Sunset Strip. It was wedged right between like the Standard Hotel and like the Argyle, or like the Argyle and whatever. It was right there, and it was this crazy thing. And you'd go in there. They had all these like potions like this, and you'd go in and you'd just snort oxygen of different flavors. But that was such a trend of 2000, 2001, and just so funny that Angel's like bringing it back.
Yeah, my mom did it in Vegas, and she came back and she was like, "Oh my God, Vegas has this thing called oxygen." It's like, so does the world. And she's like, "No, Ronnie, like you sit down and they put it on your face and you breathe it and you just feel so clear. You feel so free." I'm like, Mom, it's because normally when you breathe in, it's Benson and Hedges or Virginia Slims. Okay, it's called breathing the air. Try it.
So they do it. They're like sort of amused by it, but then Jazzy's like, yeah, they take selfies and they have like the things in their nose, and Jazzy's like, yeah, it's giving hospital. It's like emphysema chic.
Yeah. So Stacy is like, "Trust me, babe, you're so beautiful. Don't do a TikTok. Don't do a TikTok with this." Because Ashley's like, "Look at me."
So now comes the moment.
It's gonna look like pictures from your and Michael's vow renewal or whatever.
I know. So now Angel brings the ladies over to where Bobby is. Bobby is sitting in this like semicircle with several men. One guy is smoking a cigar, looking mysterious. And so Angel's like, "Let me introduce everybody. This is Jason Swan. He's an executive director of Rising Roots. It's a nonprofit that seeks to diversify the outdoors."
But this guy from Rising Roots is just looking at them. He's staring at them, and I was like, why is he giving them a look like that?
He just was staring at them like what? Like we were having a conversation.
Well, also, it's like
"Sir,
this
you
whole
have a
group
platform."
Yeah, and it's also, yeah, exactly. She brought you here to like, diversify the outdoors or whatever. So do something. But the way that he just sat there, also, it's a group of men and they're just sitting there they're sitting there staring at all these women who are standing there. No one gets up.
No one's not even Bobby.
It was just so awkward. And Bobby was fucking rude too. He's sitting there giving them the same look. They were all giving them
like
these
they're
looks.
Aliens.
Yeah, I think that Bobby must have been like, "Oh my God, Angel's miserable. She's doing this thing. All these ladies are so mean to her. They're so horrible. They're telling her she's poor. They're telling her, because she just got back from the house where she finds out that they're all accusing her of trying to pay $1,000. So I think he's just like, fuck these people. And now they're coming over. And so they get there and all the guys are like, well, fuck all of you then.
Yeah. They just have this look of disdain on their face. Whatever the look is, they're just staring at them. And I'm like, you're being so rude? I mean, obviously they've been told don't even say a word to these women because they will use it against you, I think. Because they're just, I just couldn't believe it. That was crazy. It was crazy. And these women are just, you got these like this group of interesting, beautiful women, and they're just standing there, just sitting there, just staring, almost as if like the celebrities of this group, aka the Real Housewives of Potomac, should be so impressed that they're in the presence of Jason Swan. Jason Swan, you have a nonprofit and you're on a national platform right now, and you're just going to sit there giving stink face to these women. And then we go over to, it's a nonprofit. And then, of course, Angel's like, and I'm actually on the board as well. Nice to meet you. And this is Ben Dinkins. He is a ultra high net worth wealth advisor. So, yeah, like he's a big deal. He's a client of Wonderland Outdoors. And that guy, I don't think he even looks at them. He just smokes a cigar.
He smokes a cigar and like puffs it at them. He's like, and like gives them a look. And they just keep cutting to him puffing the cigar rudely at them, like, fuck you. You know, they all have this look of fuck you in their face. And she's like, okay. Everyone's like, okay. No one gets up. Not one of them gets up to say, like, hello and shake their hand or anything. And Wendy's like, I thought we would come into your house to get to know you and your family. But, like, Hoppa, who are these people? So, what the hell?
Yeah, this is such a bizarre moment. I don't know. I just like, and I thought actually it was exceptionally rude of Bobby, as he's essentially a host. He gets his house. These are his friends. And I think it's, it was fine that Angel's like, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. But the fact that, I don't know, I feel like Bobby could have done something. He could have stood up and
be a host, stand up and say, hi, ladies, welcome to my home. We're so glad to have you here. I mean, listen, whatever you really think, like you're a husband on a housewives show and you don't get involved with the ladies, you don't get involved in the mess, you are nice, and then you back the fuck away. That's all you have to do. But I mean, you're making yourself look so bad in this situation, especially when you've got Monique over there and Giselle spreading all this stuff of like, oh, Bobby's horrible and Bobby's this and Bobby's that, and the energy from Bobby. You're not helping yourself.
Yeah.
Like, oof, yikes.
Yeah, I just thought it was just like crazy rude. I feel like we've never seen this sort of display before on any of the housewives. It just was crazy.
Yeah, this is really bad. So Angel's like, well, I'm going to tell the chef to start dinner. And Stacey's like, okay, well, so that's the table over there? And then you see like beyond the house. It's like, if it was a city block, it would have been like a block away. You see this little table out in the middle of the dirt. She's like, wait, so that's our table? There's like 10 tables up here, with the fires and the, all the gorgeousness. And then you put us a block away in the dirt. What the hell?
Yeah, it's just really, it's so bizarre. This whole thing is so bizarre. So they're like, okay, so we're all the way out here in the middle of nowhere. Okay, great. So then violinist, the one person who comes over to them is the violinist. That's the only bridge to the rest of the party.
Great. The violinist. Awesome. He's like, ay, 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 ay. We love macaroni. It's like, I don't need this. Play something else. Get him out of here. Does anybody got a Spotify?
Yeah. So they are sitting down and everything, and Angel offers, like, by the way, my closet's up there if anyone needs anything, if they're too cold. And so Monique is like, you know what? I like this version of Angel like this. I like you. Like this version of you. I like this. And so Jazzy's like, oh, you don't like the other version? And Monique's like, not so much. I like this energy.
And Giselle says, yeah, well, you were talking about her energy earlier, right? Yeah, the energy earlier was whack because your energy was not of a host. It was not host energy. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that you felt that way, but I'm here and we're present. The violinist is here too. And just want to remind everyone over there is Ben Dinkins. Hey, Ben. Hi. No, he just puffed a cigar again. And we're just having a good time. And if you guys need anything of me, I'm here from you. And you can text me and you can call me. And we're going to have a good time. Maybe not with water, but with a lot of fun and emotion.
Well, we were going to call you earlier because you couldn't have found something closer, like we're an hour and a half from here. Rah. And she's like, well, this is the high season in Colorado. High season, low season, middle season. Come on now. She's like, well, there's just not availability. She goes, well, the house doesn't have water. It's intermittent. And they're like,
And Monique's like, yeah, it shuts on and off.
No.
She's like, it shuts on and off. The house is wacka. She goes, the ladies and I are trying to get ready for dinner, and the water is like turning on and off. And there has to be somebody out to go outside and flip a switch. So we barely, with the water, got ourselves together to come to Angel's house. Giselle is so mad. She is so mad right now. And Angel looks horrified.
I hate to be on Giselle's side because she really is just so nasty at all times for no reason. Like she's really, to me, she's been coming at Angel all season for no reason. It's been gross. But she's got a point. I mean, man, we even have footage in the house of water not coming out of the spouts. And they have to like go out and turn on the water well or whatever the hell it is. They have to keep going back outside. It's just, oh.
Yeah, it's really bad. And Giselle's like, well, I have something to say to Tia and Stacey, because I gave y'all a challenge and I was being shady, making y'all do the sack race together, and you guys were able to work together. So do you guys want to fight again or make up? Because you have the stage.
Fight. I never stop working. I'm going to start 10 fights a scene. Go ahead and fight now. So Stacey's like, well, I don't have an issue with you, Tia, because I honestly don't even know who you are. And she's like, oh, that's so funny. So very funny. You won't know who I am until I knock on your door and say, I've lived in your house before.
Well, when we met, I described you as someone being level-headed, someone who's neutral, someone who I wanted to get to know, like Arabella. And I introduced you to my family, and maybe that doesn't mean anything to you, but that meant a lot to me. And then you flip the script so swiftly. So we see that clip again of Tia inviting them to dinner, and Stacey says that Timo's got to fly out, and then it doesn't, and then da-da-da. And basically Stacey's like, you jumped on the hate Stacey train so quick. And Stacey goes on to say that like if Angel's having a bad day, then she'll be on Angel's side. If Giselle's hates her, then she'll be on Giselle's side. She's basically like Tia is going to pick sides, and she's going to kind of go for. There's certain people that she will always take their side, and like Stacey was not one of them.
Yeah, and so far from what we can see, that's true.
Unfortunately, it is true, and it like really bothers me because I love Tia. I loved her out the gate, and like. Her performance in the second half of the season has me being like, oh no, Tia, you were supposed to be the perfect newbie, and you're not the perfect newbie, but I still love her. I'm gonna give her a pass. I just pretend it's not happening.
So here's the thing. The reason I've taken this step back from Stacey is because everything that people are saying about you, I'm finding it true. I know who I am. More importantly, I don't think you know who you are because you represent yourself to be something different in front of everybody. So, for example, Monique had already told us that she had gone to her ex to tell him everything that was in the conversation at Pride. And then I said, you know him? And she said, no, I don't know that man. And I said, have you ever spoken to him about his marriage?
She's like, why would I say that? We've already established that I know Chris.
No, she said to me, but she lied to me. She lied to me.
But then we see a clip of her saying, do you know Chris? And she goes, well, I know him socially, but we're not like that close, which I feel like is very, very different than you acted like you didn't know who he was, because she never said she didn't know him. She always said that she knew who Chris was. She never even hid this, and they keep on trying to make it into so much more than it is. And I don't believe it is more than it is. I actually do believe Stacey on this.
And Stacey says, well, it doesn't make sense for me to say I don't know Chris. I've told everyone at the table. She goes,
oh, so you're saying that I said that? Are you saying that you didn't know?
And Giselle's like, before she admitted that she did. She goes, no, I'm saying that you're a liar because I already told everyone this before. And Tia is kind of caught in a lie here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, did we see, is there some other clip that proves Tia to be right? Because
I don't think she's lying. I think she just doesn't remember it properly. I think that she, in her mind... I mean,
convenient.
It's like,
I think she's lying.
I think
she's lying.
I think that Tia's speaking with the conviction of someone who's remembering it incorrectly, and then the tail of the tape says otherwise. And Tia's like, but we have proof. It's on camera. Which, by the way, that's working totally against you, Tia, because it is on camera, and you're wrong on this. So there's going back and forth, and Ash is like, it's just so baffling as to what Stacey's trying to do here. I mean, you're getting caught in a lie in every single which way. I'm like, could we see your first 7 seasons of this show, Ashley? I mean, your divorce that never ended. You're with Michael. You're not with Michael. I mean, come on, Ashley.
Yeah, and Tia says,
well, if you're going to be a liar, at least be a good liar.
She's like, well, if the things that you're so upset at me about that allow you to go from prim and proper, she's, oh, I'm still prim and proper, darling, to screaming at me and swearing at me. If those things don't matter to the people that are sitting at this table who it actually affects, then why does it matter to you? She's like,
Ooh, good question. Well, it's because you agitate my spirit. I don't like liars, even though I just lied at the table. But still, I don't like liars.
Okay, well then keep it over there then. Keep your agitated spirit over there. And Giselle's like, ooh, you agitate my spirit, da. I'm going to use that, da. And Jazzy's like, yes, I'm going to write that down. And she's like, well, stay agitated over there. Stay agitated.
I swear, there's no reason why I would lie if it's documented. Why would I lie about that?
She's, well, and why would I lie? So basically Monique says, look, I asked Stacey if she was the one that basically butchered the story, went back and told him, and she has vehemently said no. So Wendy's like, well, so who told him? And then, by the way, I don't know if you caught this, the camera's cut right to Kierna at that moment, which is, Kierna
it's Kay and Cookie. Come on.
Yes. Kierna is like the other suspect that they're not even thinking about. Because Kierna's the one who's friends with Cookie, and Kierna's the one who heard from Cookie about this and that. You know, like, clearly it was Kierna told Cookie. Cookie told Chris, and had like a moment with Chris, and then Cookie then calls whoever she called next to be like, well, they were talking about, oh no, Chris called Monique. I don't remember the game of telephone, but it's Karen and Cookie.
So who told him? And Monique's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was just us. So how does it 10 minutes later, the conversation get completely transposed the way that it did? I mean, that conversation came out in D flat. And that was just not the key it was sung in. And Tia's like, well,
she said she doesn't have his number. Didn't she say that?
And Giselle says, well, at the time, she admitted that she has it.
By the way, there was also, when that conversation was being had, the women were all in this table. There was a side table, a kiddie table of gays. Every single one of their gay sidekicks were at one little table, sitting right next to them, all watching like a spectator sport. There's a very good chance that one of those gays leaked it to Chris as well.
Well, here's the problem with all of this is that in standing up for Stacey, because I like Stacey, and I don't think she lies about everything, but Stacey lies about a lot of things. So It's really hard to stand to just be like, oh, well, I'm standing for Stacey on this, because she does kind of lie a lot. But she in this thing, she did say that she knew Chris and all of that. She didn't try to lie about that. So I like that Monique's like, well, listen, that's what she said, and I have no reason really not to believe her. So whatever.
She's
but
also
now,
not gonna, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm the one interrupting you. You should keep going.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you said, because I was going to move on. So go ahead.
I got myself whipped up. I also think that, like, if Stacey did do this, I don't think that she's like, I don't think she knows Chris on a level where she's feels that she has to cover up for him. I think what she would say is, I did have a conversation with Chris, and I told him my feelings on our conversation. Like, she would be slippery about it. She would acknowledge that she had a conversation, so that way if he says, look here, we had a conversation, but then she would give like some sort of half truth to sort of get out of it. So I think the fact that she is saying absolutely I did not have the conversation means that she probably didn't have it.
Well, there's also this thing. So Monique says, the issue is inconsistencies. And I'm getting letters from his attorney basically threatening me because of defamation. And they're like, oh, my God, that's terrible. But Monique, you did say all that stuff on camera. So he would have eventually found this stuff out anyway, because the stuff that was taken to him wasn't a lie, from what I remember. It was what you said. So, I mean, you were the one so he still could come after you for defamation. It would have just come out later, I guess. But either way, whoever did this stuff, that's not cool.
It's not cool.
Tattle to the husband.
And Monique is like, if someone did this, if someone told this to Chris, someone said it with some intensity and malice behind it. The only one who would have intensity and malice behind it would be Cookie, honestly, because no one else really
Because Cookie hates Monique.
Yeah. No one else knows or cares about Monique in this cast. Giselle would have been maybe the only one who might have had some malice, but Giselle is, embracing Monique again. So it most likely came from Cookie. And I think that the only one who's talking to Cookie is Giselle and Kierna, honestly. And I don't know. I just don't see this as being Stacey.
So Monique is saying, well, look, I mean, I don't know, but until you come for me personally, I'm fine with you. And Giselle says, that's fair, rah. And
So
she's like,
mad.
yeah, I'm going to try and be fair here. So now they start talking about how good the food is and how great Angel did. And Angel's like, hopefully this makes up for all the Phoebes. I'm sorry, guys. And Wendy's like, I hope so. This is a tough crowd. And she's like, okay, I'm going to work on this, guys, because nobody deserves to go without water, even Ashley and Giselle. Okay?
Yeah. So now Angel reveals the itinerary for the next day. So she goes, okay, so we're going to go to a signature airport, which I think is so funny. A signature airport. Like,
It's huge, guys.
it's like the airport that the supermarket, it's like the supermarket generic brand of airport that they call the signature, because that's what every supermarket calls their generic brands. It's your signature cookies, signature brand cookies. They're going to a signature airport, and we're going to hop on a private jet and go to Aspen. So they're all excited. That's pretty cool. And then when they go to Aspen, they're going to Kimosabi, and half of them cheer because they probably have seen it on Beverly Hills, and half of them are like, "What the hell is that?" And I think the audience meanwhile groans.
Yeah, more Kimosabi love. There's a lot of Kimosabi love on these shows. This is like the third show, right?
Yes, they keep going
It's
back
time
to Kimosabi.
Kimosabi. God, they love that place. Like the tourist. It's like getting your Statue of Liberty statue, at a rich person place.
I know. It's like and like I think all of us were thinking like, oh God, she's gonna run into Kyle Richards there. She's gonna run into Mauricio. Little did we had, I think I had forgotten that they actually do run into Mauricio, and it's in the previews for next week. Like, hey, Giselle. I was like, oh my God, it really is Mauricio.
She's like, Kimosabi's a celeb haven. And Monique's like, yep. And okay, so no, Monique doesn't say this. So she's like, okay, guys, Angel says, then we're going to hop back here for dinner by 7, and the chef will have a lovely dinner. And please hydrate tonight. Aspen's a higher elevation. And Kira's like, oh, God, even higher than this. Come on, man. She's like, yes, even higher than this.
Yes, and then Kierna actually has a nice little suggestion. She's like, this has been so nice. I think we should keep the party going because I hate when the parties end. So I think tomorrow we should have a pajama party. That'd be really great. And Monique's like, yeah, I was just saying that because they're proposing after this whole Aspen thing. Why don't we go back to the Airbnb? And Angel, why don't you come too? And you can get into your jammies, and we can have like a slumber party. Especially since Angel has said 1,000,000 times, I can't wait for you to get to know me, and I can't wait to get to know you girls. So here is the bonding time. It's the after hours bonding time when the cameras are down and you can kiki, and it'll be fun.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, just pack your suitcases and stay with us. And she's like, and Tia comes back. She's like,
I just had a moment in the bathroom. Do not go in there.
She really is. Stacey goes, oh, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. So Angel's like, well, okay, well, I just have to check in with Bobby and make sure he's okay. It's okay with him because he's watching the kids all day, and I just didn't plan for him putting them both to bed and doing the bedtime routine on his own. And Monique's like, oh, but that's just a dad being a dad. He can handle it. And Angel puts up her hand like, he's a dad. Like, don't push this. And everyone sees it and it's like, whoa, okay. I guess Bobby can't take care of the kids for more than 5 hours.
So Kieran's like, yeah, you know what? I took that as like a hand that said, mind your business, because that's my man. Don't do that. And Angel's like, well, I'll text you, but I'm down for the plan. Okay, let's wrap it up. So they're like, wait a minute, it's over? She's like, yes.
It's 7:30 p.m.
Get the fuck out of my house.
And we see it's 7:30 p.m. on the screen. And everyone's like, this is the cast trip. This is the last activity of the night. Like, even the Real Housewives of Orange County, when they went to Montana, did something at night. Like, they're not even a bonfire with some hot dogs we can roast. I mean, come on.
Yeah, this is a sad showing by Angel. This is really bad. You can't take responsibility for the cast trip, the finale cast trip, where everything from the rest of the season comes to a head. And like, this is a big deal for the show. And for you to kick everyone out at 7:30, it's like, oof, yikes.
Mm-hmm. And so they're like, okay. So they all start shuffling away. And Giselle's like, y'all had no hosting issues in Nevis. Just want to say, Nevis, best cast trip of all time. So then Stacey is like, by the way, guys, I just went to the bathroom and it was a distinct smell of sewer. So Tia, just want to point out, Tia was the last one in there.
I'll tell you who's not lying. Tia's bowels, and they're very unhappy.
She did have onion rings today. I can vouch for that. So
Chickpeas. Don't ask me how I knew.
maybe some corn on the cob. So now Angel goes up to Bobby, and she's kind of nervous, and she's like, so tomorrow they want me, Kiana, and Tia to spend the night in the house that they're staying in Littleton. And to be honest, personally, if I have an opportunity to see my kids, I'm going to choose to see my kids, right? I mean,
God.
if you want to tell me I should go be with my girlfriends, that's okay too, but I should probably be with the kids, right? Like, that's her vibe. Like,
And he's
she's
like, well,
fishing.
He's
Yeah.
like, well, I mean, if you want to go, I mean, it's going to suck, but it is what it is. I mean, do you want to do that? And she's like, no. What do you mean? He says, well, okay, then it is. He's like, okay, it is what it is. Then you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And so basically, you know, I think she's going to pin this all on Bobby, but he's like, yeah, of course I don't want to stay home with the kids all night again, after, you know, but go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to go. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. He's like, okay, well, you don't have to if you don't want to. Like, whatever. And so she's like, I'm still a breastfeeding mother. And my plan was always to enjoy my time with the ladies during the day and then maybe sometimes some activities at night. I mean,
Ma'am, if you do not get on that bus and go hang out with your friends on the cast trip, you are officially fired. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. Okay, you are wealthy people. It's not our job to tell people how to spend their money, but it is our job. And like, I'm not saying you have to hire a full-time nanny, even though, do you already have one? But you can at least hire someone to help out during the cast trip while you're busy doing your job, okay? Like, I understand it's a lot. Nighttime rituals, I am not being like, oh, whatever, just put the kids in bed. You know, and it's a lot.
Put 'em
Bobby's
in a
taking care of the kids all
crate.
day. But honestly, hire some help for a day. Bring in your sister to help for the, like do what every single other housewife does on every single one of these shows, where they bring in someone for the shooting just to take care of someone. I mean, Kenya Moore brought her nanny on like 2 or 3 trips. Like, this is not an uncommon thing. Like, figure it out, okay? You cannot brag about your 36 acres and your wealth and how you know the wealthiest money manager who smokes a cigar and doesn't say hello to people, and yet you don't have a few extra coins to give to someone to come in, a babysitter for one night. Come on.
yeah, come on. You can do this. I believe in you, Angel. Make an effort here, Angel. Make an
Come on,
effort.
save your job. Come on now.
Yeah,
save your job. I need
pump
to
it.
make fun of you next season too.
Pump
Come
it,
on.
throw it in the fridge, and get to that party. Now,
That's right.
do I blame her for not wanting to be around these ladies? Not really. They're always coming for her. But at the same time, you're the one hosting the cast trip. Like, you got to
She's
do
a-
this. You're the head of this.
Yeah. She's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They always come for her because they know they can get under her skin, and then she does that. She does this, and they know that they have won. So you've got to go in there, and you've got to like take up some space, and you got to like you buck up, and you just don't let them. You don't let them be that, and also like show the fun side of Angel that they got to see that one night in Nevis before Kieran made you be sad again. Okay, like I don't know. I think she's failing big time here.
Yeah, huge. So he's like, okay, so just if you don't want to go, then just tell him that you're together all day and you're already going to Aspen. And she's like, I know, but it's not enough though. So then on the way home in the car, Ashley's like, well, I mean, that was a good time. Stacey's like, it was better than you expected, right, Giselle? She goes, not really. Yeah, it was about the same. So she would have to ask Bobby to like stay with us. That's a little weird.
Yeah, and Ashley's like, well, Bobby's his security blanket, her security blanket, you know, and like, and Stacey's like, but when she doesn't want to do something, like that's when she does it, and like so she doesn't want to come to the house and stay the night, and Giselle's like, I don't think so.
And Ashley calls it, I think, correctly when she
Yeah.
says, I think she's waiting to see how it goes tomorrow, and if it goes well, she'll come, and if it doesn't, she'll use Bobby as an excuse and get the
Yep.
hell out of there.
Yeah, Ashley got that, like she got that 100% right.
Yeah.
So now they're driving and driving in the dark, and everyone's getting scared because there's no lights. And then we see lots of stock footage of animals. There's especially one owl. There's this one owl who's like, this is my moment to shine. I am a nighttime owl with a bright light on me, and I am going to take over this show. Yes, queen.
I know. It's like, look, I'm an owl. Watch how I can turn my head all the way around. Oh, look at that. Went in a full circle. Motherfuckers, went in a full circle. What did you do today?
Who is most menacing? It's me, bitch. Your nighttime owl.
I have an owl outside. God, it doesn't choose to go off until the middle of the night, and then it's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's like, yeah, I hear you. I know. Congratulations, you're an owl.
I know.
Hey,
I thought I saw an owl yesterday, but I think it was just a hawk. It was a really big hawk, but I thought it was an owl. Either way, as a bird of prey, bitch. So they're driving. It's dark. Giselle's unhappy with all this darkness, and they're very scared of bears and mountain lions. I mean, it's fair. It's fair. But you're also in a car. The bear's not going to attack the car while it's driving 50 miles per hour. So they're driving. They finally make it back to their home in the dark, and there's no running water again.
Oh my gosh. Giselle's like, I don't have the water to wash the bacteria off my body. Yeah, I'm in danger.
Oh no.
So now it's day 2, and Stacy's like, dear Lord, please let us be able to wash our hands. Oh man, I don't even want to use it. Oh God, I'm afraid. And so they tried the sink, and it's like, and it starts coming out. And they're like, oh yes. Water.
Yay, we did it. So they're washing their hands, are so happy to have their running water. But no one has received any text from Angel. Although actually it turns out that Jazzy gets a text. But basically Ashley's annoyed that Angel hasn't checked in on them. And everyone's annoyed, which I think is fair too. I think Angel should be like, how is it? Is it all fixed? Did you guys sleep well? But nothing from Angel. And Ashley tells us that the only person who had water last night was Stacy, and like she was rationing it out. And basically, like Stacy started to YouTube how to fix a water heater or whatever, which is hilarious. And they got afraid that she was going to electrocute herself, so they had to call like the private chef to come in and fix it.
Oh my gosh. So they had water 2 hours later, and the heat is still up to 90 degrees. So they're not happy. And Monique's like, well, it was so hot in my room this morning, my face was swollen. Literally, my eyes are watering, my nose is running. Oh my God. This just sounds like hell. This house is a house of horrors. So
yes.
Ashley's like, you pulled a K? Because Kay's been crying the whole time.
Yes.
So now they're talking about, Giselle's like, I'm taking over. I'm finding us accommodations because this is some foolishness. Now, at this point, yeah, you're going to have to. And just send that lady the bill because this is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly. And Stacy's just like, I'm just trying to be positive. It's been a rough morning. And I mean, is she trying to off us? Why did she banish us into the woods? This is a scary movie. And we all know who's going to get killed first. The pretty nice girl. That's me. So Giselle's showing them how she had to how she had to shower this morning, which is that she turned on the bath, and then when she tried to pull the thing up on the faucet to move the water to the shower head, it never went up there. So the water was just coming out of the bath faucet, and she was like basically splashing it up her hoo-ha. And she's showing them, and they're all laughing. And Stacey's like, you did a whole bath. So it's all funny. And then we go over to Angel's home, and they're, of course, having a luxurious morning with like breakfast, and Bobby made them a whole spread, and it's lovely. And they're like, ugh. Lap of luxury.
The violin guy is there playing Pink Pony Club. Like, Jesus Christ, can we just get away from this fucking guy?
When does he end?
So Angel says that after she found out about the water pressure being low. Oh, no. It's not just the water pressure being low, Angel. She's like, well, I had the homeowners check on everything, and they said it was fine. They just need to restart the system. But I didn't know that the water completely stopped working overnight. And Tia's like, well, it's not like it's deliberate. You didn't know anything about it. Can I have another little bit of caviar on my toast? Thank you.
Oh, when do we get to take our third shower of the morning? So Kierna she's like, well, guess what? Today we're leaving sourpusses in the corner because we're not even doing all that. Oh, I know Kierna's not talking about sourpusses in the corner. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
All
And
Tia's like, they won't get to go on the plane if they're acting like that. And Kira's like, you better stand up, Tia. Just look, Giselle, get out.
So Bobby hands him a couple of drinks, and basically, who cares? Why am I talking about this? So then Tia's like, well, I'm worried for the ladies, but I'm more concerned with Angel because I'm like, this is not going to go down well. They're waiting for the nails to, knock into her coffin.
Yeah. So Angel explains that she called Jazzy in the morning to make sure everything is okay. And Jazzy told Angel that they did not have water. And so we see a text exchange where this is all explained and everything. And so, but then Kieran and Tia, their reaction was, they didn't have water and no one called you? How could they not call you? I'm like, she is the host. I mean, it probably would have been smart if they had texted Angel, be like, hey, we still don't have water. Can we find a new Airbnb? Like, that's probably what I would have done, maybe. But like, I still think it's more on Angel to check in on the women and make sure everything was okay.
Well, yeah, because they don't know the Angel called the people and told them whatever. They're just like, okay, the water still doesn't work.
So Giselle, back at the Airbnb, Giselle's like, I'm going to find us something better. And they're like, yeah, we just have to do this. And Jazzy's like, yep, I'm zipping up my suitcase. Like, I'll be right down. Everyone's ready to go. Everyone's totally okay with this. And Giselle's like, listen, Angel has this Aspen trip planned for the day, and it's great. And then I'm relocating us as well. And I'm going to inform you very clearly that you have failed miserably.
And Stacy points out that she tried to turn on the water again, and now it's just trickling out again, and it's sewage smell. And they're like, ew.
Yeah, because we see her go into the bathroom and be like, okay, we're going to leave. Let me just wash my hands. And she turns on the faucet and nothing comes out. You're like, oh, no, it's off again.
Oh, God. So Stacy's like, we have basic needs as Americans.
It's fair.
Okay, so now Angel, Kay, and Tia are in the car, and Angel's like, oh, guess what else Jazzy told me? She said that Monique has been saying bad stuff about Bobby all day. And she's like, don't shift those experiences to me. You know, the only similarity between me and Monique is when it comes to marriage is that Bobby played in the NFL. I'm not even going to say that she's a wag. I will not even give her that in this conversation.
Kieran's like,
I mean, to me, it's kind of nonsense because, like, again, if you're, like, recently divorced, right? But, like, we don't know what their marriage is like.
and Angel's like, this is not the time or the place. You're crossing boundaries. You don't know me like that. But guess what? You're going to get to know me.
Promises. So Angel is saying, yeah, you know what? They see someone happy in a healthy relationship, and I'm in one, and they don't like that. And to imply anything else is evil. And no one has Bobby's name in their mouth but me. So then in the other car, Monique is saying, you know, last night I was saying we should have a pajama party, and she said she had to ask her husband if he can watch the kids, and that was a trigger for me. And then she put her hand up. And they're like, oh, no.
Not the hand. Wendy's like, I didn't know she put her hand up. Yeah. And Monique is like, I clocked that shit. Like, when you experience certain things, you know what it looks like. And you are close to being depleted. And then we go back to Angel's car. And Tia's like, well, Dr. Phil is not here. And from what I see, you've created a beautiful family and a beautiful life for yourself. And Angel's like, now they're trying to come for Bobby. Let me tell you something. I will crash out.
Dun. So let's see. Promises. You better crash out. You need to do something.
Well, I don't think she's gonna crash out that much. I don't know if you saw on Carlos King's show, he had a guest on who was imagining what Angel's crash out would be like at the reunion, and basically like his version of it, which is what I totally agree with. Is like an Angel crash out is like, I'm going to tell you something. I tried to be respectful to you, and you'll get to know me, but I just don't fuck with that. You just know her crash out is just going to be totally lame and like quiet and sad.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thanks for being here. We hope you are in better accommodations than that Airbnb.
Hope your water works.
And we'll be back later today with some Married to Medicine. Don't forget to catch us this evening for some Amazon Live. We'll be talking about some cool stuff. So catch us there and catch us next time. And we will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.